So, as you read the title, I finally started managing my money right as a single mom. I've been kind of looking at my money situation with one eye, because of the fear of facing the reality. And this is not a sponsored content. This is just me trying using one of those budgeting apps to manage my money better. So about 2 months ago, let me check. I think it was 2 months ago. Oh, actually 3 months ago. I started in March. For the last 3 months, I've tried managing my money with this budgeting app called Zyme. It's a Japanese budgeting app. It's free. I just wanted to see where my money was going exactly. Because my savings kept growing smaller and smaller. There's no surprise there. My incoming funds are smaller than my monthly expense, so there's no surprise there. I have to prepare for the future even after my kids graduate from college. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on my shoulders right now. I have monthly income and that covers only 1/3 of my monthly expenses. Whatever's short goes out of my savings. Between the boys needing stuff for school, things breaking around the house, and we gotta feed a cat, I have to make sure my insurance premiums are paid because in case anything happens to my health or life, I want to make sure that my boys will be okay. So those unexpected expenses, expected expenses, little here, little there, it all adds up to be a substantial number. Total expenses were kind of shocking to see them in clear numbers. The thing I've learned from using this app was that there were so many spendings that I wasn't even aware of. Let me give you an example. Like, when I'm stressed, I'll grab a coffee on the way. When I'm exhausted or when I'm feeling sick or tired, I couldn't sleep the night before, I would order a takeout. And, I say, well, just tonight. So those, oh, well, just tonight here and there, and they all add up. So I noticed that pattern, and at first I tried to keep mental notes. Like when I go grocery shopping, I would keep the total in mind. Okay, I spent this much money for this week, and I was trying to keep up with that. But obviously that didn't work because it keeps adding up, and you get kind of confused and you stop tracking altogether. So I knew I had to do something physically to keep track of my spendings, but I didn't want to pen and paper kind of things because I'm not going to keep at it. So I learned about these budgeting apps. My sister actually uses one, and she said it was a game changer for her. So, I said, why not? And I downloaded it. And you can also connect your bank account directly so that, automatically track every withdrawal and deposits into and from your account. But I haven't connected my bank account yet because I'm not comfortable with it. So instead, I manually put in all my monthly expenses, known costs such as rent, utilities, insurance premiums, and school fees, stuff like that. And then that's when I noticed something really uncomfortable. I was looking at my credit card bills and I noticed some of the payments I wasn't even sure what it was. And those were the subscriptions for online services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, D-Anime, stuff like that. Some of them I wasn't even aware that I was still subscribed to. So I had to list up all the subscription services and cancel whatever I'm not using currently. So that was a good thing come out of my using this budgeting app. So when I saw them, listed together, it was like, wow, that's like a little leaks I wasn't even paying attention to. And I felt really bad because I was lousy managing my money. I've wasted my money. It's really bad money management on my part. So I canceled some and streamlined the subscriptions down to the ones I really need and want, and put those data into the app. So now I have accurate data of my fixed monthly expenses in this app. that alone feels really good. It makes me feel like, oh, finally I'm doing it. I know what's going on. I know what I'm spending my money on. I know it's not going to increase my savings, but at least I have a good idea of where my money goes, right? So that's a huge difference. And for other expenses such as groceries and, here and there little costs, unexpected costs or random spendings as you live your life, those you have to put in manually, but it's not complicated. You just need to scan your receipt and it sorts out into different categories. Each item, like food, stationeries, pet supplies, stuff like that, it registers the name of the item, the price, and the place and time of your purchase, and it creates a little graph every time you input those data, and you can reflect weekly. You can see at a glance how your spending looks like visually. I used to say I don't need a receipt at the checkout or throw them away right after my purchase, but now I keep all the receipts. As soon as I get back into my car, I start scanning the receipt so that I won't forget before I even leave the parking lot. It's become a habit, and it's a good habit. I'm using the free version. I think they have a paid version, but I'm using the free version, and it's simple to use, and it's good enough. But it's Japanese app, but there are a bunch of budgeting apps out there in English versions, so it doesn't have to be the same as mine. Mine is called Zyme, and I'm not sponsored. So after 2 months of doing this budgeting as a single mom, I realized but I kind of suspected this, but some of my spendings isn't really about the money. It was more about the feelings, something to feel. I think that's called emotional spendings. I've seen a lot of those. I used to. Now June is month 4. As I spent more time tracking with this app, I got better at it. In the month 1, I used to catch those emotional spendings. When I'm stressed, when I feel anxious, I would spend money that I didn't have to. I saw them in real numbers, and this much money on food from the supermarket, that's gotta change. That has to change. And I gradually became more capable of conscious shopping. I think it was month 2, I realized that I was spending about 800 to 1,000 yen, which is about $8 per week for coffee from the convenience store. That's gonna add up to be more than $30 a month. I still buy coffee from convenience store, but now I think, okay, this is my coffee money for the week instead of just mindlessly grabbing it like I used to. That will make a difference at the end of the month. You'll be able to cut down overall expenses by paying attention to every yen or dime or whatever your currency is. Conscious spending is really important if you're trying to budget or manage your money. And I think with these budgeting apps, I think you'll be able to do that. So yeah, that's been really working for me. This budgeting app or any other budgeting app will give you the real data of your spending pattern. So you will know how you spend. And you can use those data to adjust your spending and budgeting. It's not going to increase what comes in, but you can definitely control what goes out. That kind of feels good. I feel better now. This app I'm using, it's not going to judge me or doesn't tell me what to do or how to budget. It just gives you the real data and just shows you the truth, reality. And sometimes that truth is uncomfortable, but it's definitely better than pretending everything's fine when your savings is for sure decreasing and you want to have a better control over your money. I'm glad I started using this. I tried other budgeting apps before, but there was nothing wrong with that app, the one I used before. There was nothing wrong with it. But what went wrong was that I skipped intentionally some of the receipts because I felt guilty or embarrassed. And when you do that, it ruins the whole process of budgeting, because it needs your real data. It needs your true data. Otherwise, everything falls apart. So if you are going to use this kind of budgeting app, make sure you be honest. Don't skip any receipt because you feel bad after purchase. I know that feeling right after you buy something. You were so excited when you bought it, but after you went home, you kind of regret it, right? And you feel bad enough to keep scanning your receipt, and it ruins your accurate data. So be honest. Nobody's going to judge you. You have to have a real data to reflect on. Otherwise, it will make no sense, right? So I do weekly reflection using this app. I see, okay, how much I spent for food this week, how much I spent for pet supplies, how much was unexpected spending. If I spend too much on food this week, I can adjust by saying, okay, next week I'm going to try to cut down on the cost of food a little bit because I spent too much last week. You can adjust and be creative around spending money. Take it as a kind of a game so that you can enjoy a little bit. It's not fun to spend money when you don't have enough. If you have enough, as shopping is really fun. But like myself, I am trying my best to cut down the cost of living as much as possible while I'm trying to establish sustainable income source. There's no such a thing as a fun shopping. But someday, yeah. I've enjoyed shopping thanks to my husband when he was around. I've had that kind of fun, so I'm okay now. Thanks to my husband, I enjoyed those fun days. Now I am facing really tough times, but I know I am gonna give my best. I'm gonna get through this. So this budgeting app was one of the tools I thought I might use to make my life a little bit easier. I'm still trying to figure this out, and next month might be a little bit all completely different. I am sure I am going to continue trying to manage my money better. Yeah, for the future. At least I know where my money goes exactly, and I have the data to reflect upon so I can do better next week or next month. So if you are struggling with this kind of thing like managing money or budgeting as a single mom or as a solo parent or as anyone, I think it's a good idea to start using one of those budgeting apps. Those apps are not magics, but the awareness it brings out truly helps. So might want to try it. Let me know in the comments if you have tried any of these budgeting apps, how it works for you. I'd love to know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.